mindset of the team this week?
Yeah, the mindset's pretty positive right now. We lost one game; it was a tough loss, and but the thing that's positive about it is that all those mistakes that we made, are definitely fixable mistakes, and that's just one bright side of it.
What do you think of the new uniforms?
Yeah, the new uniforms are definitely something cool. Definitely change up something in the program. I don't know if you guys believe in the saying, look good, feel good, play good, but there's a lot of guys that believe in that saying, and definitely, it's nice to have a little bit of swag on this team. Just having such traditional uniforms, and I think we're going to keep those traditional uniforms. Those will always be in the program, just like teams like Nebraska and Oklahoma, Texas. Teams or programs that will always have their traditional, throwback uniform. But like you said, it's always nice to change it up a little bit.
Do you have like a favorite part about them?
Yeah, probably the top of the helmet where it says Cats in the cursive is probably the coolest thing, and I wasn't expecting that. So
when we talked after the game on Saturday, talked about those big plays a little bit, and kind of mentioned there's maybe just one fit or two kind of missing them there. Upon film review, did you pick up on anything extra?
Yeah, well, one thing I noticed, definitely we gave up 4 15-yard penalties, so that's 60 free yards Oklahoma State had, and that's something also that hurt us was penalties right there, especially the big ones. And, like we said, Chubba was a fast guy. Once he saw a gap, he hit it. And, just with the speed that he had, it was kind of dangerous because, obviously it was hard to catch him from behind. But like I said, you just have to be more gap sound, more disciplined.
You face some of the best athletes in the conference now. Not to say that you won't face good ones moving forward, but how does that kind of, shape you guys for the next 8 games?
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to get us ready. Baylor has playmakers as well. And, Baylor has a very experienced offensive line too, so, that's definitely going to be dangerous. But like I said, we just have to fix those mistakes that we made in the Oklahoma State game and just be ready on Saturday.
Did you feel, did they attack you any differently after your first couple of sacks, after the lightning delay? Did they make it harder for you to get to the quarterback after that?
Yeah, on the stretch play, with their Y off tight end, definitely felt like I was being double teamed on the stretch block, by the tight end and the tackle. And, one good thing about that, it takes 2 guys to block one, and that was one guy that was free. And but it was definitely tough for me, but I just had to maintain my gap and just stay in there.
Wyatt, what's the feeling like coming home and being able to play 3 straight games here?
Yeah, it's definitely a great thing, and like you said, playing 3 straight games in October, that's definitely a big pro that we have on our side, in the month of October, just because it allows us to have the home field advantage versus these next 3 teams.
How dominant, did you feel the first couple of quarters of that game, the way you were getting to the quarterback?
Yeah, I was definitely a lot more amped up, missing, Mississippi State and having a bye week. That was a lot of time off, not playing football in a football game. So I was definitely super excited, and it was just nice being back out there, and I was super excited, and I just wanted to make a statement.
I was curious about one of your teammates, Elijah Sullivan. What's he mean to this defense?
Yeah, Elijah's, you could go on and on about every single guy in the defense, what they do for this defense and what they do for this team. Elijah Sullivan, he has a lot of charisma about him. With him missing last season and only playing in 3 or 4 games last season, coming back this season healthy, he definitely has a lot to prove, and he's always going to go out there and play hard. And he's the type of guy that's always going to, do what's best for the team rather than what's best for him.
He talks about how his teammates kind of helped him out, lifted him up during the time when he was injured last year. How did you guys go about doing that?
Yeah, it's definitely tough to, lose a guy, especially a guy like Elijah that's so talented and that has so much influence on the guys on the team, losing him to a, season-ending injury. And, we definitely lifted him up and say, hey, man, you're going to be back. It's all going to be okay. And, thankfully for him, he got granted a medical red shirt, so he'll be here next year as well. Definitely it's definitely a nice feeling having him back.
How similar is this Baylor offense or different from what you saw last week in Oklahoma State?
Yeah, well, like I said, they have playmakers on their team as well. Probably not as talented as Oklahoma State's playmakers, but they have a lot, I'd say they have a lot better, more talented, more experienced offensive line. Oklahoma State's offensive line was, younger and, had two of their backups starting. And like I said, Baylor's just very experienced up front, just kind of like how we are.
You feel like
focus do you have on team-wide execution this week?
Yeah, like I said, it just goes back to the drawing board. We just have to fix those small mistakes that we, did to ourselves rather than what the offense did to us from Oklahoma State. Those things are very fixable, and I think we're going to get them fixed this week.
Do you get more anxious to play again after a loss or after a win?
I'd say after a loss. Obviously you have that chip on your shoulder, and I kind of just forgot, how brutal Twitter can be after a loss and how brutal those fans can be. But, like I said, after a loss, because, you don't want to keep that. You want to keep the wins coming and keep them rolling. But after a loss, you have to do something. You have to change something and do something differently, to stop that.
What most disappointed you when you went back and looked at film and analyzed what you guys did wrong?
Yeah, there's off. We made plays. We, like I said, the cons that we had, we didn't tackle very well. We missed assignments. But some pros that we had, we did good in the red zone. We held them to 4 field goals, only 2 touchdowns, which is kind of, I'd say, is pretty good against Oklahoma State and the playmakers that they had. And but one thing, obviously you just need to fix our tackling. And from a personal experience, me, I had a lot of opportunities to make a lot of good plays and a lot more tackle for losses and tackles. But, I just messed up on that, left my feet a few times, ducked my head on those tackles. And that goes throughout the whole team as well. We just need to work on our technique and get better at tackling.
Does this team seem better equipped to bounce back from losses than it maybe has in the past?
Yeah, definitely. The team is definitely super tight knit, and with his coaching staff, we know they care about us, and they know we care about them, and it's just one big family, and we all support each other and all have each other's backs.
Is it a difficult balance after a loss to you have to show you care, you have to be pissed off, but at the same time put it behind you, and how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, Coach Hazelton says 24 hours is up, it's time to move on, and starting yesterday's practice, we just reviewed and went over what we needed to fix. He said, all right, this is what we need to fix. The game's over. Let's move on to Baylor and let's focus on this next team rather than focus on the past.
I don't want to walk you into a place where you get in trouble, and you can think of your words and skip this if you don't want. But what is it like as a player to see all that stuff on Twitter, after the game? How do you manage seeing that? You get to thinking they don't know what they're talking about, or do you understand it more?
Yeah, well, it's definitely frustrating, but that type of situation happens at anything.
Sure.
Obviously, you just have to focus and control what you can control, and not let anyone or anything get underneath your skin, and just keep your eyes focused on the main thing, which is just go out there, practice hard, and fix what we need to fix, and just go out there and play. Yeah.
Has the morale been pretty good so far since the game?
Yeah, definitely. The morale's very good down in the locker room. It's tough losing a game, but like I said, we just have to move on and just forget about from our mistakes.
Coach talked about the reason for the uniform reveal on Monday was to get used to the helmets, which I'm sure is true. Mm-hmm. But was it a nice distraction from how mad everybody was to see that Monday and move into that kind of mindset a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I say it helped transitions. I think it helped transition. Some guys that were still thinking about that loss and harping on that loss. Just transition into, hey, it's a new week. That was a little new surprise that we had. So that's one thing that got the guys pretty hyped up and excited. And like I said, you look good, feel good, play good. So. The guys are super excited. Just go out there and practice hard, and no one wants to go out there in a new cool looking uniform and take an L. So that's one thing that everyone's practicing hard, and everyone's gonna just be ready on Saturday.
How tough is it to get used to a new helmet?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Straight out the box, it's tight. It's not really fitted to your head. You guys probably played football. Wearing a football helmet the first few weeks of practice, is always tough, but it'll be okay.